folks. Got another soap here from Hercsoaps. This one here is called Mail Call, and you can kind of tell what the scent profile is right there. It's got some blueberry and currant and rosemary. I did remember right. This is a 4-ounce soap puck, if you will. You can tell it's poured in there. I already scraped some soap out of there, and it's a fairly firm in the container, but you can still push your finger inside of it there. When you scoop it out with a spoon, it's pretty pliable in the bowl. Really easy to push in there. Really nice scent this morning. Definitely a good one for a Sunday morning. An easy start to the day. Got the island block, no rubber band this morning. You can tell there was a rubber band there at one point in time. That's Stirling's mentholated witch hazel. This is black ice scented. And decided today to follow up with the Lucky Tiger Aftershave. Blade of the day is a Dorco Titan. That's what the box it looks like if you decide to get a box of them. And it comes wrapped like this right here. It's just a single wrapper, and it's fairly dark through and through. And it's kind of hard to tell because of the glue there. It tells you do not wipe. It's kind of the common theme along with these blades. There's the rest of the label right there. Pretty nice. I mean, wrapping is pretty thick. It's not a thin wrapper by any means. I have an N.A. Parker razor 3-piece. This one here is 111W. W be for the white. It also comes with a black handle. This is about 3 ounces in weight and about 4 inches in length. It's not a short one by any means. Kind of tell there it's got the safety bar there scalloped, and just a very, very slight overhang. So in other words, it probably worked well with those that shave underneath the nose. Don't have that problem. And got it whipped up here in a bowl from Vanillay. Whipped up pretty nice. This soap, if you couldn't tell, if it got washed out from the light, it is a light blue tint, and the soap, when it lathers up, it still has just a slight light blue tint to it. Got it whipped up from another brush from Maggard Razors. This one here is a 22mm knot, and looks like a bronze handle, which is really nice. I doubt that the camera is doing this thing justice, but I would say this is a good looking handle. It has a slight swirl to it, different colors. It is a pretty good looking brush. This is one of my favorite, as goes for color handles. I really like this one. This really, in person, it looks fantastic. At any rate, you can kind of see it whipped up just fine this morning. Matter of fact, I might need to add a little bit more water to it, but I'm used to using that is. And got my Preshave Phoenix Artisan accoutrements Preshave Ice that's mentholated and scented. Already put a hot towel to the vase this morning. And off camera this morning, I will be using, probably should share that real quick, Maestro's beard butter. This one here is in his Wisemen. And I've got the scent down below through the listing of the products I'm using this morning, as well as a link where you can find this good stuff. Reason why I switched from criminal beard oil to the beard butter is that the whiskers were starting to get pretty wild, and this does a better job of keeping them under control than what the beard oil does. And this is pretty good stuff. You can find this stuff usually at Target, not always. Target, last time I was in there, they were rearranging the men's section as it goes for razors and stuff like that, so I'll have to go back in and see how it looks. It seems like that section, at least the Target over there where I usually stop in at from time to time to see what all's new or not new. Seems like the men's section keeps on getting smaller and smaller. This seems to be the theme among the stores around here. Your selection of even what used to be the common everyday aftershaves are starting to get even smaller. Like for instance, I don't see Stetson at Target. Sometimes it's at Walmart, sometimes it's not. I think it has a stocking thing that if they don't have it to fill a hole, they put something else in its place. They spread out what they have existing, then when it does come in, then they put it back in. I think that's what Walmart's been doing. But Stetson's not always at Walmart. You know, oddly enough, if the super doesn't have it, the marketplace will. You kind of switch off and on. Matter of fact, the marketplace at times seems to have a better selection of the stuff that, you know, my family usually buys. I'll put it that way. The super has rearranged quite a bit to the point where a lot of the stuff that we used to get, they don't carry it in the store anymore. Kind of feel like you're getting pushed to the online sort of situation. Really kind of odd. Smells great this morning. Even though my nose is acting up this morning, I can definitely smell it. Don't know what the camera is showing here, but it should be showing it's lathering up pretty creamy. It's going on really nice. Definitely yogurt. This is going to be pretty good. Slept in this morning. This sinus issue I've had going on for a couple of weeks is trying to get the better part of me. As it goes for these blades, I've shaved with Dorco Titan before, and when I first started, I tried some of the, I guess it's what, the 300 or the 301 or something like that. This one here I find that, how can you say, fits me the best. It's not that the others, you shave with them, they're just not as smooth in my opinion for me. This handle is, the way that it's shaped is really easy to hang on to, even though it is slick. There's nothing, no knurling or anything like that. You can tell it's slick, but because of the way it's made, it's really easy to hang on to this handle. About like the, excuse me, most of Parker razors, it'll run you right around the $30 mark, give or take $1. This one here, the weight of the shaver is more in the top part. From here on, it feels like that's where most of the weight is at, which doesn't bother me none. I don't expect that a shaver is going to be perfectly balanced. Letting the weight of the shaver and the sharpness of the blade do the work anyway, so having most of the weight up towards the head works fine for me. You can kind of tell that's quite a bit of creaminess left over right there. As it goes for the aggressiveness, I would say maybe medium, maybe. It'd be at the bottom end in my opinion. Put in a blade that you're used to, that usually works for you. You might actually consider it on the mild side because it'll be a smoother shaving. This one here is still a little, I guess you might say a little edgy with this blade. I don't find that the Dorco blades give me a smooth shave. Haven't found one yet, at least. About like most companies, every once in a while they'll come out with a different blade, different coating or something of the sort, depending on the feedback from the customers. Or if their sales are alright, you know. My beard type is a little on the heavy side, tough whiskers. It is a lot of fun to shave with this one here because, like I said, even with my hands being wet, there's soap on them right now. Easy to hang on to this, and it does feel like a something from days gone by, a particular style. If you look at some of the older, say like gym lather catchers that have a wooden handle, that is more or less the shape that is on some of those wooden handles. Pretty close to being just like this. This is pretty creamy stuff. This is good soap. I'll have a link down below for the website for the soap. And if you got to use for the beard butter, brush. This Lucky Tiger aftershave I got is pretty nice. It goes well with, I guess you might say, the scent of this soap, in that neither one of, I mean, it's strong enough to let you know that it's there. I can smell it right now, but it's not overpowering. And the aftershave is the same way. I guess you might say it's also seems to be at least for me personally, it seems to be a little bit more of a calming soap and aftershave combination this morning. I guess you might even consider it falls in that category if you shave with a shaving cream or a soap that's lavender. Kind of fits within that category right there, in my opinion. Just a little bit of feedback this morning. This is a really nice shaver. Parkers, for me, they fit well with my beard type. The gap on it, put in my favorite blade, shave with them all week. Smooth, comfortable shaves. And for me, haven't had any problems with the quality control. Of course, there's still a number of them I haven't got just yet. But like I've said before, after you figure however many razors they push out, there's going to be one that's going to get by them. Every so often that's not quite up to snuff. There's something not quite right. It may not show up until you get used to a time or two. But so far I have not had that issue. Matter of fact, the next few shaves, I didn't get all the Parker DEs worked into December, so I figure the next few Sundays I'll work in the rest of the Parker series that I've got. And I've given away one of them to Jimmy, which I need to follow up on Jimmy. I haven't seen a posting from him in a while. It had a very unique handle. It had like we'll say squares, maybe it might have been rectangles, but I think it's squares, and they are all offset on the handle. So when the light hit that handle, it would reflect in different ways. It looked pretty cool. I guess you might say a very creative handle. I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but I can tell that using the beard butter definitely helps with keeping the wild ones under control. Speaking of mail call, when I was in the Army, I guess you might say one of the best mail calls a guy could ever get. It was during the Gulf War. Of course, we're out in the middle of nothingness, and my birthday fell on a Sunday that year, and I got mail call on Sunday on my birthday, and got all the stuff from my parents and family on my birthday. You know, in other words, I got the the sausage and all that sort of stuff that that you could ship to us, and all that the crackers, the whole 9 yards, good stuff. Stuff that was something different to eat than what we were eating. Those MREs, not that they were all that bad by any means. It's just something different to eat. I mean, it got to the point where I was guy used to they used to have little loaves of bread, about so big, and I'd collect up the peanut butter and jelly that folks didn't want, and have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and that was a treat back then. But yeah, having a mail call with your birthday package on your birthday was pretty cool. That was a good day. I know for some folks that didn't happen very often, to get your package from home for your birthday on your birthday. Couldn't plan it much better than that. This feels great. I love the menthol and the witch hazel. You can feel it going to work on the face. And the alum block didn't have anything to say this morning. In my opinion, for me, and I know it's not for everybody, but for me, that's the reason why I have so many Parker razors, that they do give me such good shaves. Once you learn the pressure, the angle, find the blade that works best for you, or blades, great shavers for me. Go ahead and get started here with Lucky Tiger. I started with Lucky Tiger. I had saw a video with somebody using it. If I remember right, it was Ken Kirkup. Anyway, here's the aftershave along with the restrictor there, and decided to give it a try. Didn't know what to expect. I can remember days gone by seeing the advertisement for it. But this, along with lavender and the soap scent on this one here, does have a bit of a nice calming effect. It's just a really nice way to start your day out if you're wanting to start out calm. If you're not wanting to start your day out calm, you could always go with something like an aftershave snake bite to get your eyes open and water and the whole 9 yards, that or cryogen or something of the sort. But anyway, there's other aftershaves and soaps that'll get your eyes open and blood a-pumping. I had a great shave this morning. Hope everybody's doing well this morning. Stay safe and smooth shaves to you.